It is Saturday, September 9th. We're at the new house. We're walking out of our office. Why do you ask? Because we're gonna go play poker. We're gonna go to the Wynn. We're gonna probably win some hands. We're probably gonna lose some hands. We're gonna try to play some good poker tonight. Let's get out of here.
Okay, early in the morning I was waking up, trying to get the paper, all the haters couldn't fake it up, saying that I never would have made it, I was shaking up, looking at my life, I'm doing right and they keep breaking up. Whoa.
The Encore, the roof. Well, not the roof right now, the stairwell right now, but we were on the roof. On the list, gonna go get things done. And it's 7 o'clock, why is it so damn hot? It's 103 degrees. Isn't that September? 103 degrees.
Don't be surprised when I say it's alright. Oh man, it's alright. Why you wanna talk? It's alright. Can't you see the fire in my eyes? Don't be surprised when I say it's alright. I was on a mission, bruh, trying to find a way out on the way up. It was difficult. Man, I mean the same day. If I ever listen to the words that they say.
Times sure have changed. I'm just filming the police right in the face. Times have changed.
Anything they tell you, you belong. This the anthem for the weak and the strong. If they hate, then let them hate, but move on. Man, it's alright. Say I couldn't do, I'm doing fine. I'm doing me, that's why it's alright. Can't you see the fire in my eyes? Don't be surprised when I say it's alright. Oh man, it's alright. Why you wanna talk? It's alright. Can't you see the fire in my eyes? Don't be surprised when I say it's alright. It's all good in the hood today. It's all good in the hood today. It's all good in the hood today, so I don't care what you people say. If you believe it, say it loud. It's all good in the hood today. It's all good in the hood today. It's all good in the hood today, so I don't care what you people say. It's alright. Say I couldn't do, I'm doing fine. I'm doing me, that's why it's alright. Can't you see the fire in my eyes? Don't be surprised when I say
Fuck you.
oh man, it's alright. Why you wanna talk? It's alright. Can't you see the fire in my eyes? Don't be surprised when I say it's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's all good in the hood today. Yeah. It's all good in the hood today. It's all good in the hood today. So I don't care what you people say. It's alright.
Despite open folding my first 3 hands at this table, I was actually up this session. Granted, at this point, I may be 1 hour into it. This game wasn't good. Looking around the table, 4 or 5 of the players I recognized as winning regs, the table was stone quiet, and each hand was painstakingly slow. I mean, very slow. The skill level increased when my friend Christian Soto slid into the 2-seat. Although for this next hand, he was enjoying a massage and wasn't dealt in. From the cutoff, I raise it up with King 10 offsuit and the big blind defends. So far, everything is normal. On a 9 of hearts, 4 of hearts, 3 of spades flop, the big blind checks, and I'm looking at a pretty disconnected 9 high board here. We choose a larger sizing and bet $40. The big blind calls again. Here's where the wheels come off a bit. The ace of spades turn. The big blind forwards the action to me and I choose to overbet. Not wise. Although, yes, I do have all the big aces both suited and offsuit, the big blind can still have a fair share of aces himself. My rage advantage here isn't overwhelming by any means. The big blind thinks about this one for a while and calls again.
You got me.
I'm dead. There isn't a card in the deck that can really help me at this point. The big blind checks again when the 5 of diamonds hits the river. My best bet is that he was on some sort of draw and missed, which if true, means my king high is good anyway. This, however, is a big long shot after he calls my turnover bet. I just decide to give this one up. Another bet by me here would be torching. Even if I had a set of aces, I'd think twice about betting this river. Check. He says ace, and we toss our hand into the muck.
TY, 1, 2, peel up. TY, 1, 2, peel up.
I got it. I got you. I fold.
What did he do? Call.
He called.
We like to break the other one. We like to break the other chip. I have 5 black.
Okay.
I'll give you 6 black for it.
You got a better offer? 6 is the high.
This game really wasn't my jam. I played for a couple hours. Chin had already left, so I racked up about $400 and was off in search of another game. Johnny Vibe shirt sighting in the wild. In the wild.
Good luck, man.
All right. Like I said, game at the Encore was not good. So it's time to skedaddle. So like I said, the game at the Encore was not good. It's time to get out of here. I've already called into the list at the Bellagio about 30 minutes ago. So we're off to the Bellagio after an hour and a half here. Wish us luck.
It's my time. It's your time. It's your time. It's my time. It's your time. It's showtime. It's my time. It's your time. It's showtime. It's my time. It's your time. It's showtime. It's about to drop.
You're goddamn right.
Traffic sucked, but it didn't take too long before I found myself in a Bellagio 510 must-move game seated with a slew of people I'd never seen before in my life. That's a good sign. Pretty early on, I find myself in a hand in which the low jack has opened to $30 and the button flats that open. Luckily for me, I look down at a very squeezable ace-queen of hearts and do just that. $150. The low jack wisely exits as the raise from the big blind is typically pretty strong. The button, not so wise. He comes along and in the process caps his hand with the ceiling being something like pocket nines. King Jack 6 with 2 clubs. Great board for me. This is just the type of flop my range eats up. I lead for $120 and the button must have missed whatever he was fishing for. His hand hits the muck.
Stay out of my territory.
I spent maybe an hour or so in the must-move game, but nothing magical happened. When I was moved to the main game, I was up a little, but basically had the same starting stack I arrived with. $2,500. Oh, did I mention that the Bellagio changed their buy-in structures for their cash games? They added a 5-5 $1,000 cap game, increased the 5-10 cap from $1,500 to $2,500, which is now pretty similar to Encore's $3,000 cap 5-10. Interesting changes. I try not to call any game soft, be it 5-10 or 7 cents, 17 cents. All games go through periods of ups and downs for sure. That being said, this game was, soft. During this period, players were almost exclusively playing fit or fold, which is very easy to defend against. Here, action folds to the button and he opens. Buttons do that a lot. And I defend from the big blind with Jack 8 of clubs. The flop of Queen 6-5 with 2 clubs gets checked through, and when the turn pair is the 6, I just lead for $20. He doesn't know if I have a 6. Hell, I really didn't look closely. Maybe I do have a 6. What's he gonna do? Call me with ace high and hope I don't bet again? That's added stress for no reason. No one wants more stress. He folds.
I'm a champagne bottle and I'm about to pop. Cream of the crop. Gonna ride this rocket till I'm at the top. Curtains calling, take your seats. Lights, camera, action, baby. It's my time. It's your time. It's showtime. It's my time. It's your time. It's showtime. It's my time, it's your time, it's showtime. It's my time, it's your time, it's showtime. Are you ready? What do you know? The Heartbreak Kid just stole the show. Breaking the mold. I'm a firecracker, baby. I'm about to explode.
The hour or so of fit or fold has now passed, and I managed to pick up a few pots simply by betting when checked to. However, now there have been some new additions to the table, and shall we say, a couple of these players are well lubricated. Their arrival has woken up the table, and now pots are being contested. Poker is being played. In this one, I looked down at Ace-10 offsuit from the hijack and opened at $30. The button, well, the button has on a pinky ring. That's all you really need to know. That alone tells you that this man is in the streets. He's down for whatever. He calls my open. 9-6-3 rainbow. I check and he takes the lead with a $40 bet. 2 overcards versus a pinky ring. I'll take my chances. Call. Turn 10. Great. Check. He fires again. $100. Call. River pairs the 3. Check. He doesn't relent. $200. Either he has flopped a set and rivered a boat, or he has nothing. He's not raising with Jack's preflop, so maybe he flopped top pair, but why continue on the turn overcard? I have a 10, so 10-9 is possible but unlikely, and what 3 does he have that bets the flop? This isn't adding up. My 10 should be good. Call. I'm normally not very curious as to what opponents hold, at least not curious enough to engage in the whole, no, you show first game. The last thing I want to do is embarrass some recreational player that is bluffing. It's not like all these players are doing in-depth range construction and seeing their cards is going to give me some massive insight into their future actions. Normally. However, here I am curious. So I wait. He shows Queen Jack of Hearts, and I take this one down.
That's the only shot, yeah.
You're into gambling.
No gamble, no future.
No shit.
Curtains calling, take your seats. Lights, camera, action, baby.
We fold the next hand, but in the hand following that, I open 6-5 of clubs under the gun, the $30, and the big blind defends. I mean, that's his right. Not exactly a dream flop in Ace-Jack-7, but there's some backdoor possibilities. But more importantly, this flop hits my range pretty damn hard and I have position. He checks and I continue with the larger sizing, $50. He calls. The turn pairing the Jack isn't that great. The likelihood of me holding Ace-Jack plummets and it kills my backdoor possibilities. We both check. The river 3 of diamonds, total brick. This is as brickiest as it gets. He checks again. I have 6 high. My only hope is that he missed a flush draw or a gut shot, but even then, his garbage hand still beats my garbage hand. As far as hands I'd open from under the gun, I basically have my nut low. I have to bet. I grab $120 in chips and toss them into the middle. He quickly folds. Not long after winning that hand with 6-5 of clubs, I leave the table for a few minutes for a phone call and have to post $10 to resume play. After posting, I look down at 7-4 offsuit. Nothing to write home about, so I check my option. The hijack, to my immediate left, raises to $30. This is a rather small raise after someone has posted. The hijack appears to be new to the stake level. He bought in short and with the wrong color chips and has been bemoaning his card distribution for the majority of this session. Because of this, and because I'm an ass, I've stolen his big blind with raises from the small blind a lot. I call his tiny raise with hopes of flopping anything that even looks like equity and then taking it from there. Jack 5-6. Well, that looks like equity. I check and he continues for $40. He started the hand with a bit more than $500, and there's no reason to start check raise blasting here. I'm not trying to miss my draw and double him up. Let's see how this plays out. I call the $40. 3 of clubs turn. Well, you don't say. The nuts. I check again, and what he does next surprises me. He moves all in. $465. All in. You would think that I would snap call, but I don't. And the reason why I didn't was because I was legitimately surprised.
If that's true, if you don't know who I am, then maybe your best course would be to tread lightly.
I had to double check the board to make sure I was reading it right and wasn't missing anything. I call. I offered to run it twice and tell him that I have a straight.
I have a straight, so whatever you want to do.
I'm dead.
He says that it doesn't matter and that he's dead as he tables 2 kings.
Oh, by the heavens! 2 monarchs! Why did he thus enact his hand in such a manner?
This is a perfect time as any to introduce my new training academy, Solve for Why Not. A great compliment to any poker player's arsenal. Anyone can teach you the charts.
Sometimes you just call with the 4-7 off, you know? Like, sometimes you're like, the charts. You just do what you want to do.
But here in my academy, learn the nuances that those other guys won't tell you about.
That's what they don't tell you about the charts, you know? That you can, every once in a while, you can just be like, I want to do what I want to do.
Profitable punting. Casino comp leverages. How to avoid time rank with well-timed table changes. And fan favorite, is that water free?
There's a line. Like once every 37 hands, do what you want to do. Yeah.
All led by failed Las Vegas Justice of the Peace, Max Berkeley.
Hi, my name is Max Berkeley. I am running for Justice of the Peace, Department 7.
With a name like that, the teaching has to be quality.
You start pushing it to like 3-4 times every 37 hands, you're up. Once every, you just kind of, you know.
Classes are filling up. Join now. So we're on a roll. Not playing too badly and catching some good bounces. This is the energy we want to keep going. I'm thinking this as this next hand starts. The low jack opens to $30 and is flatted by the button. Remember when I spoke of well-lubricated players earlier? Well, the button is not lacking lubrication. Looking down at King-Queen offsuit, we can fold or we can squeeze. Me calling behind isn't really an option. We make it $160 to go. The low jack has better things to do. Folds. The button, though, not so much. That alcohol is talking to him. He calls the $160. The flop of deuce 5-7 with 2 clubs isn't really what I was hoping for, but let's see if we can make it work anyway. We continue for $120 and he calls again. Uh-oh. This could be trouble. The ace of clubs on the turn is good in a few ways. I should still have all the big aces from my position, whereas he can have an ace, sure, but his big aces, he probably would have 3-bet those pre-flop, not flatted. Advantage me. Plus, I have the king of clubs in my hand, so I'm blocking the nut flush and have a draw to it myself. That's nice. I check this card to see how he reacts. His reaction isn't what I expected. He bets small, $150. I'm not sure what this means or represents at all. We still have that flush draw and find the call. The river queen of hearts gives me a pair, but that ace is still worrisome. I check and now he bets $400, but it's strange. Something is off.
Who are you talking to right now?
My subconscious is telling me that this doesn't make sense.
Give me 1 second.
I tell the table I'm going to need some time to think about this one for a bit. Did he bet a small flush on the turn and is now using a larger river size? Should I check raise here holding the stiff king of clubs? This guy isn't going super thin with an ace, so what does he have? Some pair that he doesn't know what to do with? Confused and curious, I find the call.
Fair force.
He says, pair of fours, and I win this round. Session continues. In this hand, the under the gun player, friendly guy, and a fan of the vlog, opens to $30, which is quickly called by the low jack. I look down at Jack 9 offsuit from the big blind and probably should just toss this hand into the muck. I don't though. I flick in the additional $20 and the three of us see a flop. Jack 9 for rainbow.
So you do have a plan. Yeah, Mr. White. Yes, science.
What did I say about tossing this hand into the muck? Ignore me. I check as the under the gun player has the betting lead, and he does just that. He bets $50 into the low jack and myself. The low jack has seen enough, and his cards get tossed into the middle. I, however, want this pot to be bigger and fast. I check raise to $200. Our under the gun villain thinks about this for a while and calls. A turn blank would be nice, but we don't get that kind of nice. We get another kind of nice. A second 9 appears, giving me a full house. I continue for $250 this time. The under the gun player tanks again, about as long as he did after my check raise, and finds another call, leaving himself with about $1,000 or about a pot-sized bet left. The River King of Spades isn't necessarily my favorite card in the deck. Our villain having pocket kings isn't completely out of the question, but if we're going to get coolered, let's make it fantastical. We grab a stack of our black chips and slide them into the middle as this covers his remaining $1,000. He doesn't snap call. That's a good thing. And his tank here is much, much longer. He goes back and forth with it, mumbles about 10-8 getting there, and eventually decides to throw his hand into the muck. We chat about the hand a little afterwards, and he reveals to me that he had ace-jack. I told him that I had Jack 9, but I'm not sure he believed me.
I do enjoy your opinion.
Thanks, man. Would you? I'll tell you what I had.
Now or after the session?
Jack 9.
Jack 9?
Would you have?
What I have?
Yeah.
It's Jack.
Yeah, Jack 9.
He watches the vlog though, so... See? I had Jack 9, sir.
You got a black chip in that stuff.
Good call. Good call. You got me. You got me.
Maybe pretty flat.
I have 8-10 offsuit, and it's coming. Just so you know.
Was it it?
That was not it.
Any bet tells me you're not telling the truth. Whoa! Vicious. Yeah, I was still. I would have needed up there. Like I said, vicious.
Feeling brand new when the music on. Got a brand new suit and my shades are on. Got a smile on my face cause the clouds are gone. Yeah, this is right where I belong. Said there ain't nobody fresh as me.
So it's mid-session update time, but it's night time outside, and this complexion, with the night. My session so far, the Encore was, the Encore's great. Don't get me wrong, the Encore is great. It's just tonight's game that I was in could find better games. So I came to the Bellagio, I found a better game, although there was nothing really going on the must-move table I was on. I was happy to move to one of the main games, but when I moved to the main game, there was nothing going on there either. So we just sat and we folded for hours. I'm probably 4 hours into the session. Maybe in the last hour, 90 minutes, things have been progressing. We put in a squeeze with King-Queen offsuit and river to Queen and caught a bluff. We bluffed ourselves with 6-5 suited. That worked. And right before I picked up this camera and came up here, we got a bluff through with 8-10 offsuit. So things are going well. But I can't stay up here forever. It's time to get back in the game. Let's get it.
Live inside when I hear that beat. Got a spring in my step when I move my feet. No place I'd rather be. I got style, I got class. Nothing can stop me, I'm moving fast. Yeah. Time of life. I got moves, watch me dance. If you feel good, then clap your hands. Yeah. Time of life. Get up, do my thing. Get up, do my thing. Come on now, make a scene. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Get up, do my thing. Get up, do my thing. Come on now, make a scene. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Now watch me go. Na 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 na. Now watch me go. Na 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 na. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Now watch me go. Na 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 na. Now watch me go. Na 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 na. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Freeze. When you looking like me, you can get anything you need. Get anything you need. Living large like a star on the cover of the magazine. Yeah. I'ma turn it up, then I break it down like 1, 2, 3. So cold, that's a guarantee. I'ma show you just what I mean.
Someone cooked here.
I got style, I got class. Nothing can stop me, I'm moving fast. Yeah. Time of life. I got moves, watch me dance. If you feel good, then clap your hands. Yeah. Time of life. Get up, do my thing. Get up, do my thing. Come on now, make a scene. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Get up, do my thing. Get up, do my thing. Come on now, make a scene. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Now.
We are home. It is late. I am more docile right now because it's because Lily's upstairs sleeping. So let's wrap this thing up. In for 2,500, out for 56 in some change. Bellagio has upped their 510 buy-in from 1,500 max to 2,500 max, so that's why I was in for 2,500. And overall today, good session. Things worked. I even got 4.7 offsuit to work. When 4.7 offsuit is working, you're having a good session. All of my bluffs worked. I didn't get caught bluffing once, and I bluffed quite a bit. Most of the made hands I made were just the best hand. So when that happens, when your made hands hold up, when your bluffs get through, you're gonna have a good session. And I had a good session. But with that, let's wrap this thing up so I can get to bed because we're going to probably do this whole thing again tomorrow. So, if you like the vlogs, leave me a comment. I'll probably respond eventually, probably, and subscribe. And I'll catch you later. That's it. Good night. Ace's game is over. We're gonna get these two back to the crib, but I'm going to Bellagio. Bellagio. Come on.
Baby, you got it. Baby, you got it. And if there's anything that a man could want,
That's it. That's your mid-session update.
That's it. That's all we got.
And this is Rachel.
Okay, you're a blogger. Would you defend for that?
Yeah, 100%. Walking down the strip one day, I saw this guy wadding up $100 bills and just throwing them at little like homeless children.
How's it going? Bracelet event.
$32.75.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I didn't mess up that many times this time. Not that many. Near perfect. I even got 4 suit. All right, blah, blah, blah. I think there was maybe one time I had an ace that was no good. We're gonna win some hands, we're gonna lose some hands. That worked, and right before I picked up this camera and came up here, we got a bluff through with 8-10 offsuit. So things are going well, but I can't stay up here forever. It's time to get back in the game. Let's get it. We're on a wave. We're on a wave, and this is the mid-session update. So we're about 3.5, maybe 4 hours into this game at the Bellagio after coming over here from Encore, and for the first 2.5 hours, nothing happened. In fact, okay, we tried to make it work in the Encore. It's not going to work. Game was garbage. So we were heading to the Bellagio. I'm walking the wrong way to head to the Bellagio, but we're headed to the Bellagio nonetheless. Bellagio. All right, we are in a low light situation. So we're headed to the Bellagio. I called in about 30 minutes ago. Hopefully I'm first or second on the list and we can get into a game toad sweet.
Just a dead man.